These people would not see me, not take me seriously. Like when they would come in, they would like give me the hand but not look me in the eye. Or when discussing projects, they would always talk to the mayor and the other vice mayor and not even look at me, even if I was also the one who was taking the decisions.
Hi, this is Nadia Kendall, and this is the Power Her podcast series, You Have What It Takes. So, hi Jessie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm doing all right. I'm very happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
I've been following you for a little while from Instagram, and I'm very impressed with the work that you do, how much you're influencing the space, at least that I'm in, and the people in my peer group, etc. But can you tell us here today at the podcast who you are and how you describe yourself?
Okay, so I'm Jessie Thill, I'm 28 years old. I'm an environmental physicist and I'm active in politics in Luxembourg for quite a while now. And I'm trying to make Luxembourg a greener space, a safer space, a space more, let's say, more open for people from minorities or from LGBTQI plus community, and a more inclusive Luxembourg here.
And how did you get into environmental physics?
Well, I was always interested in the environment, about climate, and it was for me, it was in high school, there was like, I don't know if you remember, but there was in 2010 or 11, it was the Deepwater Horizon accident in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
And that really, it was at a phase in my life that I was like really, really shocked about this. And I was reading up about everything. And then 1 year later, there was Fukushima. So these was two events that really marked me and how I would like define what is interesting to me. And I started being really interested also in politics. And then I became a member of the youth parliament, and also I was really engaged in school at the Red Cross. I really started being engaged in in very different fields, and it kind of developed into me wanting also to study something that is meaningful, let's say. And yeah, that's how I ended up studying physics and geosciences, and then I did my master's degree in environmental physics.
So how did you envision like linking your studies with politics? How did that come into play?
Well, I would say that like I became active in local politics when I was in 2017 when I was 21. And it was only 1 year afterwards that we also had national elections, and I remember that I had classes in my masters of environmental physics that we had professors telling us that climate change is something that we know since a long time. Since the 1970s, it's been scientifically proven, and it's been proven again and again and again and again. And okay, our scientific models become more and more clearer, more and more precise, but still the fact that there's a climate change that is happening it's not new, the concept. And our professors were telling us then, okay, as scientifics, we can continue to, and we will continue to publish studies and so on about climate change and how difficult it will be and how damaging that it will be. But at the end of the day, it's political decisions that will decide if we will make it or not. And that was for me really a pivotal moment. And I said, like, I was also a little bit scared about what he was saying. And I was like, okay, I have now this opening in being active in politics. And so I just gave it my all and like became active also on the national level. And yeah, since then I'm really driven by this and to like really make a change. Yeah.
Absolutely, and you're very inspiring to many of us, especially at such a young age leading in your gamang, your local council in English, right? Yes, that's in English.
And now I'm also since 2022, 2020. I'm a vice mayor also.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Environmental physicist, vice mayor. How did you have anyone around you that was like, meh, you? Why you?
Oh, well, of course. Like when I first started out in politics, when I was elected in 2017, there were people like saying, "Oh, she's still at university. She cannot accept this mandate or and do this. Like be able to do this and to navigate those spaces that are dominated by, let's say, older people."
Yes. How is it navigating those spaces?
It's not easy, to be honest. It's been a challenge when I was first elected, and I was when I became vice mayor in 2020. That was really I really saw it that when we had like meetings with people from the outside, from with like architects or some people doing project with us as a commune, that these people would not see me, not take me seriously. Like when they would come in, they would like give me the hand, but not look me in the eye. Or when discussing projects, they would always talk to the mayor and the other vice mayor and not even look at me, even if I was also the one who was taking the decisions. And that's something that I'm still a little bit seeing today. But I took coaching sessions. I had also my family and some friends have been a big help, that they have been supporting me all the way and encouraging me, and encouraging also me not to give up and to like let the others define me by accepting that I was too young.
That was going to be my next question. Did you have anyone supporting you? Did you have any role models that made you believe, I can do this?
I don't have like this specific role model that I would say like this has been a role model that I've been looking up to since I was a kid, but there has been, of course, there are a lot of inspiring women, and I think I could give you a list from Ruth Bader Ginsburg to Sam Tansin, a woman that really inspire me and to drive me, but also like AOC in New York. She is giving so much hope to so many young people, and that's inspiring. And yeah, I would say that I had also a lot of support from my family. Like yeah, they really, even at the beginning, they were not so happy about me getting involved because they were a little bit worried about me being so young and becoming yeah, a visible political person. But when I took the decision to be active, they supported me since day one, and I've been really, really lucky. Yeah.
That's amazing. It's really, really important, especially when it's such a public, visible role, like you said. Going back to having what it takes a little bit, what does it take to be in your position?
That's a good question. I would say that you would need to be to have a lot of, to be driven and to have a lot of how do you say in English? Geduld. Patience. Yeah, a lot of patience, but also to be yeah, not easily give up. Like, and I think what is really important is also to not be a lone wolf, but to help others and let others help you also. Yeah.
That's very good advice. I always tell the girls that they should remember that there are people around them, people who you think might not understand you, but they really do. And especially when you want to take up these roles that require a lot of responsibility, it's important to rely on your network. I want to know, what do you do for self-care? I'm throwing you off a little bit here, but you're another one of those people who sit on this couch with me that maybe it's a good question to ask.
Yeah. I talk about what I experience, and I try to yeah digest stuff by talking about it. but also I'm trying more because it's is a challenge to take self-care. I try to make a little bit more space for myself. Because since I'm really, really active and have been for a long time, I tend to like lose myself in all these engagements. So I'm trying to do some yoga, and sometimes I'm playing a little bit of basketball, and I'm trying to
Cute.
like think about other stuff, see some friends, and talk about other things than politics. Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point. What's the hardest part of your job?
Mm, I don't know. Tough question. I think in politics, it's often like you do a lot of stuff, and you will always have people that are not happy about your decisions.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to accept that you will never make everyone happy.
Right.
Like, it's either decision you take, there will be somebody who is not satisfied, or who is not happy about this decision. So that is something that is difficult to accept. That there's no perfect decision. Yeah.
Do you find yourself taking it upon yourself, like, oh, it's because of me that like something like that? Do you internalize it a bit, or you've learned the
Sometimes a
skill?
little bit. Sometimes a little bit, but most of the time you are not alone taking the decision, so that's helpful.
That helps. That helps. I realized something when you said that, you have an environmental physics background, etc. A lot of the girls in our program, they have this multidisciplinary spirit. They want to be in diplomacy, but they want to be a doctor. They want to be in diplomacy, but they want to do psychology. How, because I feel like you managed to do that somehow. How did you manage to mix the two, use your incredibly interesting background in politics and make it your strength? Was it difficult to blend the two?
Yes and no. I would say that because there are so many subjects that are multidisciplinary, that you can use the stuff I learned at university. I'm using it every day. Like,
Yeah.
not exactly like calculating some atmosphere stuff, but still I'm using this knowledge, this also these problem solving methods. I'm using them every day, and I think what helps me is also that the subject I studied, I did physics in my bachelor's and then environmental physics, and especially in the physics, there were not a lot of girls. So it's been what is really the same in my studies and in my political engagement. There are a lot more boys and men in these spaces than women, and that's something that has also driven me to that we need more girls and women in STEM, in sciences, like in sciences, technology, in mathematics, in physics, and chemistry, and all these more male-dominated subjects. We do need more women in these spheres, also in politics. And so this has been something where I have been making a connection also, that between politics and physics, there is this common common problem that we don't have enough of women.
So what would you tell to young girls who are like, but it's a bit daunting. There are a lot of men here. Like, do I belong here? What do you say to those girls?
I would say to never give up, to to be bold, and to try, and as I said before, to try to look for allies, for people that will support you, and to help to build you, and to make your dreams possible. Yeah.
Just try. And I always say this, the worst thing that can happen is people say no. You
Yeah.
know, Just
Exactly.
ask, just try, just do, and the worst thing that happens is that they say no. And in your case, it worked out pretty well. It worked out pretty well. Last thing I think is I want to know what excites you the most about your job.
Being able to make a change. Like, it's so gratifying to see the changes one can make, especially like at the local level in Valfredange. The decision that we make that can like transform. We are transforming Valfredange as a village, and that's been very satisfying and very. It's amazing, really, to see that you can also, as a young person, change something, and it's been a ride, but it's been a fun ride.
It's so interesting you say that because I was just thinking about that the other day that a lot of us young people are like, oh, does it even make a difference? Does it matter? Does my vote matter? As we just recently experienced, is my recycling gonna change? You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of doomsday thinking. And you just, you prove to us that it does make a difference. You can be a
Course.
change maker.
Of course, yeah. And the smallest step can be a step in the right direction. So it's so important to do this small stuff and to just try to change something, and you will in the end change something. Yeah.
Do you have any special situations, yes, behind the scenes moments of what it's really like to be a young woman in politics here in Luxembourg?
Well, something that has been really in my mind has been it happened to me a few times actually, that I was in the commune walking around with the mayor, like going to festivities of stuff, and people would ask us if I was his daughter. Like, they would not imagine that I could be also someone in charge, and that was something that was okay. It's funny, but then it's not.
Funny, yeah.
Yeah. Something else is that, like, when I had the chance to be a member of parliament for 2 years, and the first day of when I integrated parliament, I held a small speech. What is important to me, and something that's really important for me is gender equality. And I said that I'm a feminist, and a lot of male members of parliaments would talk to me about this afterwards. There was one man who told me that they would cast feminism out of me, that we don't need feminism anymore. Some other man, like, he was saying, like, we don't need feminism anymore because women and men are equal and stuff like that. And I was like,
Easy for him to say. Sorry to
yeah,
interrupt.
and of course. And I was like giving him examples, and I was talking about being a woman in studying physics and being not a lot of women. And the only thing that he had to say was, but that's so nice for you. You had so many men to choose from. Like, that I would be only studying in a STEM field because of the men, and this objectification of women and this sexualization of women all the time, that really gets on my nerves, and that's something that really needs to change.
Rightfully so. My jaw dropped. I hope you got that on camera. My jaw dropped. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
I have to add a tiny question to this. Because when men say things like that, and unfortunately sometimes even women say, oh, I mean, it's too extreme. What does your feminism mean that people really think it's something so extreme and something that we have to cast out of you with a wand?
I think it's an irrational fear about when you give equality or give more rights to somebody else, that you would lose rights. But that's not the case. So I really, it's something that I don't understand. I really don't understand it, how people could think like this and say stuff like this. It's so excluding people and dividing us into categories, and yeah, I don't know.
So it seems they think that feminism in action means a loss for them. It's a
I think so.
zero-sum game of some sort.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think they are maybe threatened also. I don't know. I don't want to guess, but yeah, that would be my guess.
Well, there you have it. That's what it's like to be a woman in politics, and as a young person, it's going great. No, she's doing amazing things, and thank you so much for being on our podcast. I think it'll be really inspiring for a lot of people. I'm inspired, to be honest with you. All right, we'll see you on our next episode. Bye.